Welcome to Energy Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday the 10th of April comes to you from London. And we start by looking at exchange traded contracts, and then we will look at European OTC running on the Trayport system, updater running on Trayport, so we can take a look at power and gas contracts there. Looking at Brent crude oil, we see here that we've made a very strong recovery right back into the range. So the key thing is, can we break this 57.50 level convincingly to unwind this recent down move? That will be the significant thing to watch for. We've got the long-term upside targets here and some short-term ones as well. The 1 minute chart is going to be giving us some clues as well. Take a look at that on your system, press the T key, and we've got some short-term targets to $59.40 and $60. So about 7% upside, but more significantly, we would be taking out this 57.50 level, which would then give us potential to run much higher. Of course, we expect crude oil to be strong at this time of year. We see the seasonal trend here, so there's no great surprises if we do run higher, but we have been relatively weak for the first part of the year this year versus previous years. WTI, we still have this target of $37 hanging over us. That's about 29% downside, but we'd need to break this 55 level to deactivate that. So the target to the downside is there, but it's can we move above this 55 level? So 57.50 on Brent, 55 on WTI, and ideally hold it for a few days just to be sure that we've broken back out to the upside. Looking at heating oil, the chart's very similar. US nat gas just falling away a little bit there. And again, when you see this sort of move, we go into the 1 minute chart. Are there any clues there? Press the T key on your system, and we can see that we've got some downside targets, but nothing significant. So nothing contained in this price action that really gives us cause for concern. Interestingly, we're finding some support in the short-term chart, but the medium-term chart is hitting resistance. The long-term picture is still pretty good for US nat gas. RBOB holding its bullish trend all throughout as being the standout. Looking at coal, almost a double top there forming on coal. We need to get above $70 on coal. We talk about this each week. We need to get above $70 to deactivate these downside targets into the mid-50s and mid-40s. So that will be key. Emissions still bearish on the medium and long-term charts. Looking at the front-month MBP contracts exchange traded, we're just seeing that turning negative as well, and the same with TTF. We'll take a closer look at the OTC contracts in a moment. Looking at the dollar strength on Friday really strengthened quite strongly. We are being set up here for a thrust target to the upside. The US dollar looking pretty bullish all round, and the euro looking bearish. So we fell away on Friday quite significantly, and still looks very bearish on the medium and long-term charts. And sterling just recovering this morning off this 123 sort of 75 level, but very significant that we fell through 124.25 on Friday. And looking at the sterling euro rate, it's pretty flat all round. Going to OTC contracts of Trayport, we see here we've got front month MBP, so that's quite significant. We're falling away to the downside there, and that is just looking pretty bearish again. European gas markets just generally not looking great. Prompt market is not quite as bearish, but still that's on day within day. Looking at winter summer, we're turning down as well, and on the day ahead market, we're just seeing that as well. Of course, I can go to the Trayport screen and just look at the shorter term chart in Trayport, go update a chart, will take you to updater. We can go to the 1 minute chart on MBP, and from there we can actually just press the T key, and we do have these targets embedded in the price. It's looking to the downside at the moment. 37.65 seems to be the target area. We've even seen targets as low as 35 there. That's on the 1 minute, so keep an eye on that if you're trading on your Trayport screen. Looking at TTF, we're seeing much the same thing. Not quite as bearish as MBP. It's still just holding above the cloud here, and no clear downside targets. But we do have this 1187 target still hanging over us. and still a pretty bearish picture in the medium and long term. Looking at the seasons, we see here we're still just holding the bullishness on the upside on the short term, but the medium and long term charts are bearish as well. Prompt markets just turning off a little bit, and looking at NCG, we're just seeing that the recovery is just failing to materialize here. Same with Gazprom. So European gas markets generally still looking fairly weak at the start of the week. And we're looking here, German power sold off quite a bit on Friday. We're just seeing that turn down. We are still just holding the level that we saw last week. It is bullish in the medium term. We're above the cloud, and of course that oil price might just help things. Just taking a look at German power again in your Trayport screen, we can go and grab that contract. And looking at the 1 minute just to see if we've got anything giving us a little bit of a clue. Upside target's still a 31.50, but we are just starting to fall through this key level here. Key thing is 29.73 and 29.75. If we spend some time, we're right on that at the moment. If we go to 29.50, that would take out the 29.60 level we saw last week, and that would activate this downside target to 28.85. But we do still have these upside targets to around 31 euros for German power, so keep an eye on those charts in the real time. Quarters looking pretty strong still, and months we're above as well. So German power still looking pretty strong, although it's got off to a less good start today. Looking at French power, just holding on to its bullishness on the cow. Quarters looking a little bit bullish still, and the months, but again off to a poor start this morning. Looking at Dutch baseload, turning down quite significantly, struggling to hold any trend there, and hitting real resistance on the short term. And the Italian market is again just fairly mixed. And Spanish power is up quite strongly this morning, up a couple of percent, and we're seeing here that's translating to bullishness on all three time frames. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.